can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun, but there was always
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Live tonight for the Richmond International Raceway. Apologize about some of those audio technical difficulties there, but we are green flag racing tonight with the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series live on LSR TV. Myself, Evan Pasoko, Carl Jones, and Jacob Nye joining me up in the broadcast booth. And guys, a interesting development very early on in this race. Our pole sitter who started up at the front of the field here tonight, the 47 Don Stevenson, has been sent to the back, or probably voluntarily. Motorsports entry has dropped back to P32, having a little bit of connection issues, blinking in and out in those opening laps.
Meanwhile, up here in the front, though, we got David Wink, George Bark, Justin Lee, and Michael Churchman. They're sitting up here in the top 4 positions. Looks like David Wink's going to go ahead and make himself a half-second lead here real early in this race. A couple things we've been watching here early on in the race is we've got a lot of cars slipping and sliding coming off of turn 4 here in the practice today, and I think we have Jacob Nye has a little bit more on that information.
Yeah, Carl, watching the practice earlier, some of the practice runs all week, guys are really punching the throttle, coming off the 4, and if you're not entering 3 correct down low, as you're watching most of these guys do in single file, if you enter high, you're hitting the gas high, and it's causing your car to kick out loose and come across the track, and vice versa. If you're trying to pass someone, you have to do a late brake to make the run, and in turn it's pushing you up the track and causing wrecks. So it's a lot harder to pass in these cars than you think here tonight. As you see, everyone's kind of single file. I'm back here following Halverson here in 27. And it looks like the first 2 wide battle to me, and it's only because he's getting loose on 2 and 4 for the exact reasons I just explained.
Well, looking at another 2 wide battle here now, we got a battle for the lead. We got George Barks. He's looking down to the inside of David Wink. Looks like he is going to make this pass stick. Well, he gets up there almost into the front quarter panel of Wink, but is able to get on past and make the pass stick.
So that is going to put the number 27 machine of George Bark to the top spot. 20 car, though, not giving up. Wink to the inside. He's going to turn the 27 of George Bark, and caution flag will fly. He just took him out for the lead, guys, on lap 10. Yellow's out.
Yeah, it looks like David Wink did not get on the brakes quite as fast there. Don't think it was anything at fault with David. I think what happened there is the 27 car
We got a couple other cars around here under caution. 26 is around. We had 2 wrecks. The initial wreck happened, and then the 26 of Marcus Babb was too high, and he just drove right into George Bark, who was sideways on the track, spun down, and the 37's going to get some damage as well. So Marcus Babb and Gordon Berkey going to be collected in that incident about 15 seconds after it initially happened. Gordon's not too happy about that, and we got the replay up there. It looks like that 20 car, Carl, as you said, went to the inside and just got in there a little bit hot. Don't expect there to be any intention from that. George did the right thing. He was up right on those white hash marks and ended up getting turned around. So I think that 20 car just got in there a little bit hot. He immediately apologized over the radio. That's not going to make Mr. Bark feel any better, but nonetheless, unintentional contact, and David Wink will be up at the top spot as we hit our first yellow of the race.
Yeah, that was basically all that was just Barks and Wink both have different braking times on that turn there, and when Barks got into the brakes, Wink did not, and just kind of slid up the track just enough just to get into the back quarter panel there of Barks turning him around. But that is going to probably put David Wink to the back of the pack there with an EOL penalty after that little mishap.
And not that insult to injury, too, but, Art got clipped there. Yeah, it was bad enough he got loose. Evan, he saved it. But then, like you said, Marcus Babb came in and fortunately did not see him up as high as he was. Clipped his front end, had to use his quick repair already. Just by getting touched by Wink, didn't do much. But Marcus Babb there finally just added the final blow to him and made him how to use quick repair really early here on a night. Now he's driving through short track traffic. I'll get it right here tonight to get up front here and put that 27 back in the lead.
Well, we'll give you a chance to get your tongue untied there. One thing you will find out with these little super late model cars here is the aluminum that they use and the fiberglass front ends on these cars. They damage real easy. You do not want to get up and touch a wall. You don't want to touch another car because that is going to put a fender into a tire. It's going to knock the nose off of your car. These things do not withstand any kind of contact.
You definitely want to keep the fenders clean, and you want to be there at the end with a clean race car to be able to be one of the serious contenders for that checkered flag. Again, tonight's race is 125 laps around this 3/4 of a mile Richmond International Raceway, and working under the caution flag right now on lap number 14. It is that 20 of David Wink who sits in first position. Dustin Lee is second. These two guys started second and third respectively, so they will both bump up and gain a position. An update on Don Stevenson, who went to the back after starting up front and was pulling away in those first few laps. He's back in P29, actually leaving pit road. And Marcus Babb actually just now queuing up over the radio and apologizing for that secondary contact that may have involved some other cars that would have otherwise been fine. So he apologizes over the radio as we get the lights off at a pace car 1 to green. We will go green on lap 16.
All right, before we go back to green here, I guess the unofficial sponsor of tonight's race is going to be Mark McFadden. He's going to be donating an additional $50 to first, second, and third positions tonight for their finishing positions after the race is over. So, Mark McFadden, thank you very much for donating to CORA Championship Online Racing Association. Do you have a little bit more information on what that donation is for?
Yeah, as the race leader does get that EOL, Carl, that you were anticipating. So Wink to the back, race leader going to be the 50 of Dustin Lee. He is underway, back green flag racing, side by side for P2. Expect Michael Churchman to get the upper hand on that one. He does. And the top three single file out, you mentioned that is going to be a $50 donation to the top three finishers, additionally on top of their regular payouts, which is going to be for both Remembrance Day in Canada, Veterans Day as well here in the United States, coming up in 2 days on the 11th of November, and those donations going to be made in the honor of the two Canadian Armed Forces members that lost their lives this last month there in Canada, including Corporal Nathan Cirillo and Warrant Officer Patrice Vincent. So those donations going to be made in the gentlemen's names there.
Dustin Lee just bounced it off the wall, giving Mike Churchmo a chance to get up your saddle car. He's now taking a look to the inside of Michael Churchman here for second position. And we got a little bit of a cluster going on up here in the front with the top five cars within just about a half a second of each other.
39 is on the inside of that 88. The 88's going backwards, Jacob. How hard is it for him to be able to get back in line? Because it looks like that's going to be big trouble for Churchman. Looks like he actually may get a spot here in front of the 15. He's going to stay to the outside. That's the 32 of Ryan Borges moving up as well.
Yeah, the problem with Churchman right now is you don't want to dive down low in the entrance of the turns because of where he was. He didn't know if the dive ball knew he was going to dive in. But yeah, the high side is not the place to be here today unless you get the run off the exit of the turn. But through the entrance, middle, when you want to rotate the car, you need to be low, and Churchman had a bad spot there.
Caution's out. Caution's on the track.
Oh, big trouble coming off the corner. A couple cars are in this one. The 3, the 20, the 21, the 37. About 5-6 cars all around in the corner, and it looks like it started with the number 21 car of Jason Halverson. He's going through the corner there, and something actually happened up in front of him because the 99 car was sideways on the apron. That is Charles Starks. Starks went around off the front bumper of the 24 of Everett Lane. You talked about Jacob not wanting to dive down into the corner. Well, the 99 did so, went over the nose of the 24 of Everett Lane, was stopped, and he actually bounced off of those sand barrels there on the entrance of pit road, came back up on track. He hit the 21 car, and a huge chain reaction here. 21 then got slowed up from that contact and then was slow in essentially the middle of the racetrack, which is where these next few guys came rolling through. The 3, the 48, the 20 car. Big junk coming out of quarter number 4, going to put us under our second caution flag of the night. And again, it attributes to the close quarters racing. When something happens in front of you and you're still tightly packed together, fresh off of a restart, there's not a lot of places you can go to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hearing that a lot tonight. As you do know, cautions do breed cautions. At a track like this, it's going to be more so just because of the tight quarters racing these guys are doing here. Side-by-side restarts, keeping them bunched up like that, it's not going to be pretty, I don't think. Take a look there at number 3 there. When he went into, got into that, he just had absolutely nowhere to go. The track had just closed completely up there, and it looked like Wilkinson just had nowhere to go. Ran it right in.
I was going to say, Carl, the only thing that I'm looking forward to on that wreck is Body Shop's going to have work on Monday. I do the paint schemes for Vortex and Storm Motorsports, and unfortunately a couple of them were there, but that means my paint shop and Body Shop's going to have some work on Monday morning for these guys to get their super lates ready for next week.
You mentioned next week. Again, these first 3 races that we have done have been with the Chevrolet Silverado, the NASCAR trucks, and tonight, obviously, with these super late models. The next race with the CORA Sunday Buddy Series going to be race number 5 in 1 week's time on November the 16th. Going to be at the Iowa Speedway in the super late models. This is a fixed setup race. Next week is going to be open. Iowa and Richmond actually quite similar in size and length. I prefer Iowa over Richmond. That's a really fun track. But with everybody out here being on fixed setup, you have to imagine, guys, that that's going to make the race in a lot more close quarters. Nobody really going to have a big upper hand.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be seeing a lot more close relation, like you said, with the same setups. Kind of going back again. I'll date myself here, going back to the IROC series. These guys are running all identical setups, and it's going to be a lot harder to get away from anybody and get out there and run by yourself unless you have this figured out to the point where maybe the guy behind you doesn't. Yeah, you're going to be running with another car right up your tailpipe.
Current rundown of the top 5 as we sit right now. Still single file behind the pace car. Expect those lights to come off possibly this next time around. Current race leader is Dustin Lee. Second position to Salicardi. Nathan Sedlak in the number 3 position. 4th is Ryan Borges, and 5th is Michael Cherdsma. If you watch LSR TV often, you'll know that it was Ryan Borges who just last night was able to take home the checkered flag in the 17th annual online All-American 400 with a pass with inside of 5 to go in that event in these very same cars. So Ryan possibly riding a little bit of momentum, going to want to get another checkered flag here. He's been running solid in these opening 3 races, has yet to find victory lane. Do not expect that to last all season, as he has been a threat week in and week out. He'll be on the outside of row number 2. As we sit right now, all 32 cars still on the lead lap. It's still anybody's ball game as we're about a fifth of the way through this race. Restart going to be coming up right at 100 laps to go. Control car, again, going to be the 50 of Dustin Lee. From when the pace car hits pit road to the green flag being thrown from the sim, he has the option to go when he pleases. Pace car down to pit road right there. 50 car in control. A little bit of a blink from the 39. Accardi tried to anticipate the start, and now the 50 car holds it back. Now he goes, green flag in the air, and he'll race down into quarter number 1. We're going to be side by side for P3.
Interesting start there by Dustin Lee. He just decided he was going to hang back and start this on his terms. The Salicardi machine there, the 39 Salicardi, he was kind of anticipating it. He came close to getting a black flag on that one, but he was able to back it off there and get back behind Dustin before the start-finish line, so no harm, no foul.
And top 3 right now, riding bumper to bumper, about a car length advantage for Dustin Lee over 2nd, 3rd, 4th on back. And we got trouble. Caution flag and a flying Jacob. You got an eye on that one as yellow comes out.
Yeah, they do. I was watching in the back of the pack. They were racing 4 wide from the Dustin checkup there on the restart, and they just started straightening it out. And I was following Jonathan McMahon George Bark, and 27 and 95, George Bark and 95 here. Dale Adkins were racing door to door, and it looks like Adkins held his line down low, and Bark might have bumped him, causing a wreck here. Unfortunate, though.
Yeah, it's the second time that George Bark has been sent around, and it looks like the 95 slid up on him, and maybe a little bit of net code, but nonetheless, it is George Bark at a wall, and it doesn't help his night at all, as he got nailed by the 92 car, the 24, the 3, and some other guys are going to get damaged from that, and we once again group them up behind a pace car. We're going to step away for the first time tonight. You're watching the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series on LSR TV. More racing from the Richmond International Raceway on the other side. Back live here with LSR TV for the Richmond International Raceway with CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series on LSR TV. Tonight, race 4 of 24 on this 2014-2015 campaign. It is the super late models at Richmond, our second fixed set race of the season, and we get set for our third restart coming off of our third caution on the race. Race leader going to be the number 50 of Dustin Lee. Pace car gets set to dive down right there, and 50 car will be in control of the field this time by, again, having control, and he's gone. Green flag in the air, back at it. Battle for second. Does anybody challenge to get a nose in on the 39? The 35 will think about it. Sedlak will slide back to third.
Dustin Lee got a great restart there, kind of faked him out this time, took off a little bit sooner than he did last time, and was able to get a nice jump, pulled it out about 0.3 of a second lead there, but he's getting run down right now by Sal Gardy. Sal's looking really, really strong tonight. Dustin Lee does have a little bit of right side damage here as we're looking at the front of his car. Looks like his front fender got caved in there a little bit on the front tire. I'm not sure exactly what happened, kind of missed that, but Salicardi, like I said, he's got a clean car, looking right now to see if he can better his position, one more position, get up here and take the lead.
Ryan Borges is going to be able to pick up, or rather defend, position number 4. He was given a challenge by the number 15, and Dominic Dyball is going to get a shot into the corner from the 88. He'll hang on to it. Just as I was about to say, it was Dyball who made a challenge on Borges for 4th, slid back, and the 88 gave him a shot down into the corner.
We got a challenge for the lead.
Apologizing over the radio.
We got a challenge for the lead. 39, Salicardi. He's taking a look down to the inside of Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee's got to fight back hard on the outside. Salicardi's going to drop it back down to the inside there. They
shuts the door. He tried to.
Almost 3 wide
really
there, guys.
close.
Coming down the backstretch. Sedlak's even sticking his nose in there, guys. This is going to get interesting up front here. Dustin Lee, though, gets shuffled up high. He may lose 3-4 positions here before it's all said and done.
Here comes Ryan
Cardi's
Borges.
going to get that top spot. You said Borges in the mix here as well. Sedlak to the bottom, through and clear. Borges the next one to the inside, not quite clear. 50 Machina Lee will hold a nose down the back straightaway, and now the Bullring Racing Chevrolet of Ryan Borges will get P3, and that's going to shuffle Justin Lee all the way back to 4th, guys. New leader, Salicardi. Don't hold your breath for too long. To the inside goes Sedlak.
Sedlak, and here comes Ryan Borges also. He's going to look to see if he can take position number 2 away. He is not going to be able to, though. He's going to fall back in behind Nathan Sedlak, however, in the Storm Motorsports car, has taken the lead now with a very convincing pass here going into turn number 4.
Caution will fly. Trouble on the racetrack. Pace car going to be coming out down the back. A couple cars. The 3 is in it once again. That is James Wilkins. We got a whole pileup down the back straightaway, and this incident going to stem back from, I see the 24 car of Everett D. Lane is slow, and it all starts with him. The 24 car just got sideways up on the high side. Did actually a really good job of nearly hanging on to it. Came back up, overcorrected, turned the 27 around, and then Everett in the middle of the racetrack, 95, 21, 3, 92, 47. All in that incident, either going to be going around or picking up some damage. And that's going to slow us back down. Now with Nathan Sedlak, guys, started in 13th position. He's up to the top spot. And now going to take our first opportunity to tap in with our in-race reporter, Jacob. Now you have the driver of the 15 machine on the radio.
I do. Dominic Dyball, Jacob here to tower. You got a copy?
I got a copy, man.
First off, beautiful, beautiful save there earlier in the race from Churchma. Give us a lowdown on what's going on up front. We're watching some hairy racing, and give us a lowdown on what the car feels like.
Oh, it's a rough one. Just trying to keep it clean and avoid the wrecks and stay up front. You know, that's easier said than done.
We're watching. Give us an idea of what the car's doing through the turn. Are you fighting a looser car, a tighter car, or is it all about your entry to exit transitions?
I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. I got Kevin in my ears. I'm trying to turn him down. Okay, come again?
Okay, what I was just asking Dom is, earlier we were just explaining about how you have to race side by side this track. You fight more of a looser setup here this evening, or are you driving a tighter setup, or is it all about your entry-exit transition on that number 15 of yours?
I definitely like a looser setup than this, so all week it was having to adjust my driving. But, you know, it's the fact that we all got fixed setups and just pushing my way up one by one.
Well, again, good luck here the rest of the evening, Dom. I know you're doing a really good job. Up 7, or no, you're actually back at your original starting position from 6th, and running 6th right now, so keep that 15 clean, get it up front there. We'll gladly get some Woodwrench Racing LSR TV green small-town computers there up front, and get you some airtime, buddy.
I definitely have to give a shout-out. It's great to be back in the small-town machine. You know, wow, thank you, and let's get this thing in Victory Lane.
All right, good luck here, Dom. Back up to you, Evan. All right.
And now, again, everybody's still behind the pace car at the moment, and A good way, if you want to get mentioned on the broadcast, is to pull the Brad Keselowski. I mention it every week, so our honorary Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 19 machine, Garrett Atwell, is P9. He continuously text messages me where he is in the race from behind the wheel while he's racing, which don't know if that's the safest thing. It's yet to cause an incident, so he's going to stick with it, just in case, we couldn't see where he was from up here in the tower. But he is P9 for us, just to make a note, and then it is going to be Scott Bailey who rounds out the top 10. Those guys going to be restarting on row number 5, and rounding out the top 10. And we got a couple of drivers coming up towards the tail end of this pack here, and looks like the caution not going to have to be delayed one more lap, so we are going to get this thing back underway. Sedlak has gone to the top spot, but with this fixed setup, we've seen a lot of swapping for that position. Going to be interesting to see if somebody can force the issue. Pace car down, getting set to go back and away. 35 in control. You see Salicardi trying to guess it, and he actually did a solid job. However, his nose was in front of Sedlak. That's going to be a close call there. Nonetheless, side by side for the top spot.
Trying to keep an eye on 39 there to see what Salicardi's going to do after that. It looks like they're going to leave him go. He did kind of jump the start there, but he's going to back it off now and let Nathan go ahead and take the lead back. So once again, maybe no harm, no foul. I haven't seen any kind of a black flag come out for the Salicardi car, but he's right now being looked on the inside too by the Ryan Borges machine, the 32 car, as he goes up there in second place. So yeah, a little bit of momentum from last night, I think, and Ryan Borges is feeling it. As he's taking a look now to the inside, but not going to make it work this time by. He's going to take a look to the lead for Nathan Sedlak, but I don't think that pass is going to stick right there, because Nathan really is running the bottom part of this track beautifully.
Not sure if it's on your guys' sim as well, but for me, I'm seeing some right side damage on Borges' car.
Yeah, he does have some damage from earlier contact. Don't look now, Evan, but your Brad Keselowski, he just pulled a Brad. He hit the wall because he's driving so hard. Garrett Atwell up to 5th place around Churchma.
And that 88 car takes a peek back to the inside. They're going to go at it side by side for P5. The Storm Motorsports entry, the number 88 of Churchma, down on the bottom. The 19 trying to hang on. That's Atwell, and it looks like the advantage is going to go to Churchma. Inside place is the place to be. That's where all the passes have been made. The top 4 have pulled away, though, from a second over 5th on back. All of them right about with the car length separating them, so can't make a mistake here. You'll slide it to the high side, and then you'll get Freight Train on the bottom, which has been a recurring thing that we've seen tonight, Carl.
Yeah, speaking of being Freight Train, taking a look here back at the number 15, Dominic Dieball, our in-race reporter. He has slid all the way back to around the 12th position, as they had just been freight training him left and right. He's got a good bit of damage, taking a shot at the rear end there, almost getting around, saving it one more time, and another shot. Dominic Dieball hard on the inside wall.
Caution flag will fly as Dieball hard into the inside wall. The 60 went to the inside, 15 shut the door, and it looks like it was Patrick Skyhill who was down behind him. Dieball shut the door, and he was given a shot, trying to save it. Was given another shot, and I guess second time's the charm. Hit me once, alright, hit me twice. He's in the inside wall, and the caution flag is out. Not sure about that one.
I don't know, but tempers are flaring there. Dominic looks like he's on a mission trying to find somebody.
The 50 machine is apologizing, or rather the 60 car is apologizing over the radio. That is Patrick Skyhill, who sits right now in 12th position. We were talking to Dom there, guys, and he was having a pretty solid race to that point. He did go flying up there searching for somebody and ended up dropping back, and he has some black smoke pouring out of his machine, and he'll try to limp it around the pit road, try to get a quick fix and get back out there on track. But you never want to get yourself scuffled back in traffic here, especially with all the close quarters and the carnage that we've seen mid-pack on back.
Yeah, listening to listen to the I can't even think for straight to talk right now. That got me kind of frustrated to watch my car go backward. But anyway, sounds like the number 60 car is going to be given the black flag for that incident there with Dominic Dieball. Dominic was not happy there. He came up there looking for him. I think he was going to try to repay him there, and kind of thought better of it there, being that he knows that he's got his sponsor launching him.
So we are already closely approaching what is going to be the halfway point in this race, just shy, about 10 laps shy from it, and this string of yellow flags has really eliminated any major pit road strategy to this point. Jacob, would you expect that we're going to see these guys be able to knock off one of the longer green flag runs, or do you think with these cars and everybody being on the fixed set, some people are going to try to, be a little bit more brave than they should there, and since everybody's so evenly matched, we're going to see constant battling, which would translate to a string of yellow flags. Do you think that we'll be able to get green, or do you think that, we're going to be stuck with these, 5 to 10 lap green flag runs?
I hope not, but I think we're gonna. But here's the thing: I just, watching these guys pit, 13th on back. I have 4 tires and fuel now. Nathan Sedlak and Ryan Borges surrendered the front of the field to come in and get 4 tires and fuel. They're done, as far as I'm concerned. They're done for the rest of the night getting tires and fuel. With all these cautions, there should be no reason they need any more fuel for 60 more laps. As far as I'm concerned, they're done. They're going for the win now. The rest of the guys in front of them are going to be in an interesting predicament here. With 30 laps, if they go green and then they have a caution, smart strategy by Salicardi and others up front. However, if there's a caution between now and then, which, as we've been noticing, is more common than not, unfortunately, drivers like Michael Churchma, Nathan Sedlak, Ryan Borges, Dave and Lee and them, they're going to be up front here at the end of the race because they pit and they're done as far as I'm concerned.
Well, one machine that is up inside the top 10 right now that's had a rough go at it so far, the 27 of George Barks. It's right now P5, was in one of those first incidents, got his quick fixes, came back out, got collected in somebody else's second incident as well. So at no fault of his own, George Bark is working at left side damage and has gone through the ringer so far tonight. We'll have to keep an eye on how strong and how competitive his machine may be up front. He did qualify in 4th. Pace car down, back it away here. 84 car in control of the field, the 25 out on the front row. Let's see what Jeffrey Smith can do as we're back in the air. And it is going to be Marcus Babb and Mark McFadden top 4.
Taking it down in here to turn number 1 now. Ryan Borges is going to go ahead and pull out a good lead here. He's got about a half a second lead right now over Jeffrey Smith. Marcus Babb falling close behind him. We also have Mark McFadden and George Barks here. Like you said, he has been through the ringer and looks like he is actually doing a lot better now. It looks like he's got his car up underneath him, and he's going to be running up here in the top 5. Let's see how his night's going to play out.
We got a huge pack, guys, from Dale Adkins on back 95 at a wall. He's going to slide down, up on the racetrack, up and over, and into the catch fence. Huge wreck. As Dale Adkins, the Nationwide Chevrolet entry, big trouble for him. The 24, the 02, the 40, going to be involved in it as well. And back under yellow we go. You don't typically see those kind of wrecks out at the short track, but I was going to say we have a huge hornet's nest of cars back here. The 94 got into the outside wall and came back down, bounced off the number 99 car, and went up and over. The 20 car hit him. He was up at a fence. Replay going up live now. The 20, the 01, and a lot of other guys in that one as well. The 19 car, who we've been talking about here tonight, our honorary Brad Keselowski, would have had a nice shot of that one out of his windshield. Let's see if we can get it on board with Garrett Atwell on that replay, because he was essentially in it, made a move to the inside, and he does get some left rear damage from the 35 machine, but a lot better off with that kind of damage than what it could have been. And we actually had more cars wrecked down in 3. The 08 car, Scott Bailey, wrecked as well after the caution flag had flown.
I was just watching it myself. Well, I'm sorry, Carl. I was going to say I was watching the replay myself, and Everett Lane even locked the brakes up, went to a complete halt, almost got ran over by the 3 of Wilkins, came back through, drove through, and when you said Scott Bailey exited the turn, that's who clipped Everett and caused him to get through the wreck. His own affiliate teammate kind of dumped them there at the end coming down the hill, so rough going here for everyone. All the Storm guys, though, made it through, and like you said, Garrett Atwell had a front row seat to that incident.
And the carnage continues in this mid-pack on back where, again, big trouble. These super late models like to get up and over. We saw a couple of those flips last night on LSR TV. Tonight, the 95 car going for a interesting ride, to say the least. And again, that's going to put us under caution flag. We're actually going to step away for one more commercial break here at the halfway point. You're watching the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Monday Series on LSR TV. More coverage on the other side.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back live and getting set to go back green. Race control now back down the pit road with the pace car, and we're going at it. 84 going to be up in the front of the field. That is Ryan Beagle. Green flag in the air, back away. Top three already single file. Marcus Babb up the third position. We're going to go battle for P4. 39 on the bottom. Salacardi going at it with the 48 of Mark McFadden.
Marcus Babb, Mark McFadden are the two big movers of this race here. They both started in 26th, 27th, respectively, and they're up here to third and fourth position, running strong right now. As as Ryan Borges, our leader, looks like he's got another good restart here. Got it out to another half-second lead, followed closely by Jeffrey Smith, Marcus Babb, and Salacardi. Michael Churchman is up here now. After he's gotten shuffled back into the pack, he's moved himself back up here into the fifth position. Mark McFadden, he's got himself, like I said, moved up here from the 27th position. He's all the way up to 6th, but he's right now being freight trained to the inside.
Oh,
here.
3-1.
The 37 car takes a look to his inside, and he's going to make the pass stick.
And
or
the
not.
51 went way to the bottom. That's Nicholas Doucette. He was able to get around it. The 37 does get the job done. Gordon Berkey will get clear of the 48. Take a look on door of that machine. 8 car going to go past the 48 as well. 2 car going to do it as well. Something happening. The 48 is going the wrong direction. He's going back there in a hurry, Jacob.
Yeah, not sure exactly what's going on with Mark. He's a pretty good racer and might have kissed the wall a little bit and got some damage and just wanted to get out of that hay fire. He's been clean all race. Got to give a shout out to the Bab. I give him a shout out. He gets passed by 4 guys. But there's a guy he's just trying to make his way through with all things off the track happening this off season. He got that 26 Bad Intentions Motorsports super late, running pretty good up there right now, fighting Garrett Atwell for 7th.
We got some lap cars that are going to be coming up not too long from now in front of our race leaders. So race control reminding those drivers to properly yield so that we don't see any of those lap cars cause a issue in this race. But the race leader, Beagle, has been able to pull about 9/10 of a second over Jeffrey Smith. And for a moment, we get single file. I was going to say things have calmed down. Not quite, because the P5 car, actually P6 machine of Ryan Borges, who wants fit, the 32 machine actually gave a little bit of a nudge to the back end of Michael Churchman that last time to 3 and 4. So I feel like a battle for P5 brewing right now. Borges looks faster, closing in on him down into 3.
Kind of remnants of last night. Got a lot of damaged cars running around out here. Right now, taking a look at the front end of the John Pansula machine
Caution.
and his car. We got caution on the track one more time.
who is around. There's smoke in quarters number 3 and 4. They may have already escaped out. I saw smoke going down through the corner there. Caution flag will fly. Trying to find a number on this one. We do go back to caution flag conditions. I saw some sparks there. It is. It's a white machine, and it is the 27 of George Bart. Cannot catch any sort of a break, and he got moved out of the way from the 15 car, and that's going to make it about 3 times that George Bart has been turned going into a corner, and he's probably pretty hot under the helmet after this one. Things are getting pretty ridiculous from his view.
Yeah, well, once again, it looks like one of those deals where the braking points were just different between the two cars there. Looks like George Barks got on the brakes. Dominic Dyball was not ready to brake yet, and just got into the quarter panel of Barks and got him around. So, yeah, one more time, Barks is going to get dizzy by the time this is all said and done. He has been around more than anybody else out here on the racetrack tonight.
Yeah, well, when it's not your night, it's not your night. You can't deny that. I mean, you'll come into these races, and sometimes things will go your way, and sometimes you just can't catch a break, Jacob.
Yeah, I was just going to say, usually you see him doing donuts because he's in victory lane over on the super speedway circuits and such when he's hosting rooms, and tonight he's just having bad luck. But then again, it seems like everyone's having bad luck. Shout out to Ryan Beagle, Jeffrey Smith. Jeff's my teammate over at Fastlane, and both are having a solid run right now. Clean cars, and they're in the safest spot, honestly, first and second. Now that I said that, though, you watch, that'll be the next wreck. But it's really, this is really rough to see some of these big names like George just having bad luck like this all night. Some self-induced, some not self-induced.
Taking a look there at Ryan Beagle earlier on in this run, right before we went under caution, as a matter of fact, he had about the biggest lead we've seen all day. He was up to almost a full second lead right before the caution came out. Then the caution came out, bunched them all right back up. That 1 second went away really quick. One of the cars that we were talking about earlier that I've been kind of mistaken for the leader is Ryan Borges. He has moved his way back up into the 6th position. I just kind of glanced up there and saw Ryan, wasn't paying attention to who the second name was there. Here, Ryan Beagle. Poor guy. I feel bad for not saying Ryan Beagle the whole time here when it has been him up in the lead, not Ryan Borges. Ryan Borges has been back fighting his way up through after his pit stop. But like I said, he's got himself back up in the 6th position. So we might be talking about him as the leader here very, very soon.
Yeah, they both drive Chevys. They both have the first name Ryan. They start with a B, so very easy to get them confused out there with all the action going on. Again,
they're both
Jeffrey
kind of black
Smith.
cars too.
And they do have darker style and paint schemes as well. So, and I mean, they're going, I mean, the action has been all over the place. We've been jumping all over. We haven't really had a long green flag run that would give us an opportunity to slowly dissect where everybody is. The top 5 right now, you mentioned Ryan Beagle, Jeffrey Smith. I want to see what he can do with the number 25 machine after qualifying back in 18th position. That's second right now. Salicardi back up to 3rd. Sedlak back up to 5th. You're starting to see the guys that had pitted here, Carl, start to make their way back up front. Accardi, Sedlak, Churchma, and Borges as well, all starting to creep back up into these top 5 spots.
Yeah, Garrett Atwell, he was also, I think he was the last, or one of the first ones to pit out of that group there, and he has moved himself back up into the 7th position. Nicholas Doucette, he has not pitted yet as far as I know. He is still running in the 8th position. Martin Porter, Marcus Babb, Gordon Berkey, he is sitting here in position 11. Patrick, Skyhill, he is sitting here in position number 12. He's looking pretty good tonight in the number 60 after his earlier incident that he had there with the number 15 machine. He has moved himself back up into the front after being EOL'd.
Headlights are back off, so it's going to be a restart again now. We are past the halfway point, and this time by the start-finish line, and going to be 50 laps to go. Race leader Ryan Beagle will once again be in control of this field that still sits 27 lead lap cars strong. Pace car is off. We get set to take another crack at it. Green flag in the air, and side by side for second. What a great start for Salicardi. He's going to go to the bottom for the lead. What a run by the 39. Oh, and he gets chopped off. 84 around in front of the field. Big jump. Beagles around. The 88 and Churchmill around in front of the field as well. We're still wrecking. Oh, a huge wreck in turns number 1 and 2. And caution flag will fly. Wow.
It's a parking lot out there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. I have never seen so many torn up vehicles in one time. Well, actually, I can't say that, but sounded good at that point in time.
It looked like
but
a
yeah, we had a
Talladega
parking
wreck.
lot down
There
there.
was at
It looked
least
like a
20
Talladega.
guys.
The big one just happened, but down there sitting in turns number 3 and 4, there was just a pile of cars just sitting down there on that wall. I think we had probably about 6 or 8 of them with heavy damage.
Woo.
Hey, Evan, I'm going to go down and apply to NASCAR towing quick. Might make a few bucks here towing a lot of those cars back to the garage. I mean, granted, up here in the tower, it's a great payday, but it might be a little extra bucks down there in the track and still keep the headset on.
And it all attributes to what a great run that Sal Accardi had. I mean, we'll say, the drivers that start in third position, they tend to get a better restart than the guys that start second. And in Sal Accardi, when he's been up in second, he's been trying to, anticipate that restart. And what happened was he was right behind the 84, got a huge run. And the 84 race leader started to go up the hill, and I mean, Accardi was there. He was at his door. The 84 just turned right across his nose. So yeah, I think you got to place the blame to that one on the driver of the number 84. Now, obviously, Ryan Beagle did not want to wreck himself and wreck the rest of the field, but I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, Sal was at his door. He just came down on him, and then again in front of the field, the Storm Motorsports cars got together, the 35, the 88, and once again, our resident in-house Brad Keselowski, the 19 car, just about got through that one and got clipped. He went back up, got nailed by the 51, and again, it was a huge parking lot down in corners number 1 and 2, and it's going to slow us back down for another caution flag, and I mean, there's nothing else to say, but that was huge, and it took out a lot of lead lap and fast cars.
Yeah, in defense of the of Mr. Beagle there, though, I just don't think he was expecting Sal Accardi to have that kind of a jump on him, did he? I probably didn't even know he was there. Spotter didn't even have a chance to say anything when they went into the turn. He just went down to take his line, and Sal Accardi was there, and that's what caused that. I don't think there was any ill will meant by Beagle at all there. I think it was just Beagle just didn't realize that Sal Accardi had that good of a restart, and once Sal got in there, it was on from there.
I wasn't expecting him to. I wasn't expecting Accardi to get the run. I'm sure that that Ryan Beagle there was not expecting that either. However, in the end, he was there, and I remember how I said right at the restart that we're going to be coming back green, and I think I said something like the lead lap is still 27 cars strong. Well, we're down to 17, so at least 10 cars going to be chunked to the point where they're either out of this race or will lose a lap from it.
And I'm going to take blame too, Evan. I did say first and second were clean and had no damage and didn't wreck right during that caution. I'll take the blame on that one.
Your
sorry,
fault.
Ryan. Hey,
we'll make sure we take the precautions, and we'll knock on wood next time.
Carl gave me the power of that magic crystal ball he had last season, and apparently I still have that power. I looked into it and knew the relievers were going to wreck.
It's bad. Leave the crystal ball alone. That's why
and strange things happen, guys. We've had a fair amount of races. Well, I mean, 3 races so far have been knocked off in this 2014-2015 campaign. But, I mean, look at the tracks that we've gone to so far. Again, we've all been in the trucks: Daytona, Atlanta, Las Vegas. This is a smaller track we've been to. Strange things tend to happen when you go to the short track. It's a weekend night. The full moon lights are on. That's when things can get pretty interesting. And I think we've seen that to the point tonight. It almost is turning into a survival of the fittest. And I don't want to use that line and beat the dead horse on it. But I mean, you got to be alive to get through this. I mean, look at let's compare where people sit now and where they qualified. Okay, Sal Accardi, current race leader, started in 9th. All right, Jeffrey Smith, who's second, started 18th. 5th place starter Ryan Borges is in 2nd, but Nicholas Doucette, who started 29th, is 4th. So there's a lot of guys. Even the 32nd place starter of Gordon Berkey is in 6th position. There's a lot of guys here that have made their way through the field and now have a legitimate shot at what is going to be an added payday for the top 3 via the additional $50 donation being made on Mark McFadden's point for the Canadian Remembrance Day, U.S. Veterans Day as well. So we get set for another restart. Do we survive it down into corners number 1 and 2? We will find out. Pace car comes down, drives right through the sandbags like they weren't even there, and we're not going to go green flag racing. Race control is going to manually tell these drivers that actually they're going to throw the caution flag, and that means they were unable to get the command in before we went back green, which means about 4 more laps of pacing as opposed to the one that they were looking for to make sure everybody at the back end of that lead pack had gotten caught up. Dustin Loynes is in the wall. We got the 40 car who's wrecking, and wow, that 40 machine, Dustin Loynes, guys, he rolled out of pit road, thought he had the thing fixed enough to get back to the tail end of the field, and if we can get a replay up, it just did not turn left, and he just drove straight into the wall.
Straight into the wall. But listening to race control here, I think one of the problems they're having there is trying to get the lucky dog his lap back there. It did not happen for some reason under the last caution, so they're going to throw the caution, see if they can get this guy back on the... Because he's claiming that he was not involved in that wreck, and that would have been, I believe, Chad Wilson. Should be getting his lap back, if I'm not mistaken on that.
Chad Wilson is shown as the first car 1 lap down. And trying to take a look at his car here on the replay to see if he was or was not involved. Well, the 2 car was involved in the aftermath of it. He drove into the back of the 88. He will now get that wave around. So what iRacing does is if you get an incident point, you will not receive that wave around. And he was not really in what caused the caution, but because he registered probably a 2X or a 4X just from being clipped at the end, what happened from that is the fact that it did not automatically give it to him. So caution flag was thrown now, and he will get his lap back. He'll cycle back up and make it an 18-car strong lead lap as we run right now, closing in on actually the next time by the start-finish line, going to be at the 40 lap to go mark.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling the way this race is going, I don't want to jinx this, but it's probably not a jinx at this point.
Then don't say it. Don't say it.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot more cars getting their lap back here if it keeps going like this, because as long as you're not involved, like you said, in the initial incident there, you do get a lap back before they go back to green. And the way it's going right now, I think we're going to see at least another 5 cars here within the next few minutes getting their laps back.
Well,
and it looks like
yellows,
Salicardi is getting the EOL penalty.
Wow.
Our leader is being sent to the back of the pack here. We've got to find out what's going on with that.
And this is going to be for the previous wreck. Because nobody had received any, the 39 of Salicardi. He's going to be given the black flag for causing or being the reason of that big incident. And I have to say very blatantly that I don't agree with that call. Race control is giving their explanation, and what they're saying right now is that he was being too aggressive on that start. I mean, he went to the bottom. They're saying that he made a movement to the bottom before the start-finish line, which he did start to go to the left, but in the same regard, the 84 started to go up. So Salicardi's going to swallow that pill. Well, he's going to go from leading this race to so far back in the pack, guys. I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to race for one of the top spots. And race control is a tricky job, but I'm not liking the way that one looks. That's a huge, bad break there for Accardi.
Well, that's going to give the lead now to the 25 of Jeffrey Smith. He's going to be bringing that car in. The second place will be Ryan Borges, actually now is up to the 2nd position. Martin Porter, David Wink, Gordon Berkey has moved all the way up to 6th position. We got Scott Bailey and Jeremy Crandall now. He's moved his way up into 7th position from the starting 25th position.
And as a fellow racer in CORA, Evan, I agree that man, that's a tough one for Sal to swallow there.
Well, he cannot object to it because he's already at the back of the pack, and now our new race leader, Jeffrey Smith, is going to be leading us to the green flag. Back at it, we're racing once again. Looks like Ryan Borges is in 2nd. Does the 8 machine challenge for that position? He does. The Budweiser Chevrolet to the bottom lane. That's going to be Martin Porter. Porter trying to make it side by side. Can Borges get a run off the 2? No, he cannot. Going to be door to door for 2nd spot.
Jeffrey Smith, he's going to slide right up there. He's trying to do a little bit of protecting of that lead there as he is running down in front of Martin Porter, then scooting up the track there in front of Borges. So it looks like he's not really blocking, but kind of looks that way, but he's not. As Borges now takes a look to the inside, he's not going to be able to get down there and block that position now. The 32 of Ryan Borges goes into the lead. Contact between Jeffrey Smith there and Martin Porter. Martin Porter did take the worst of that. We got another wreck on the track. Caution is back out.
1 car, 2 cars in the wall. Mark McFadden up there. The 48 is there. One more machine around. The 60 of Patrick Skyhill is around. Caution flag is going to fly, and the 60 machine was not there. And he went to dive it down into the corner and decided to do that when he had not established the position, and hit the 48, hit him again afterwards. Skyhill not making any friends out there. That's not the first time that he sent somebody around, and caution flag going to come up from that one. I mean, it looks like when you go side by side, you can show somebody the nose, guys. But I think with the 60 machine, if he was trying to make that move, he should have showed the nose here a lot sooner and not right going down into the corner, because he gave no time for a McFadden to react there, and I mean, just sent them both off into the fence.
Now, like you said, that is the second time now that Patrick Skyhill has decided that he is going to just plow his way through the car. He isn't trying to pass you. He's just trying to kill you out there the way it was looking, because he didn't just hit him once, hit him twice, hit him third time, never let off of it, just kept hitting him.
Well, they say rubbing is racing. It is a short track, but things have been getting pretty physical out there. Jacob, you being a driver, what are your thoughts on the way these guys are really going at each other here tonight?
Well, especially after last week's NASCAR race, Brad Keselowski, the real Brad Keselowski, hitting Jeff Gordon. That was a sign of what racing is. These guys are passionate behind the wheel, whether it's in a real NASCAR or on the iRacing sim. But there's a point in time you need to check reality and go, should I make this move? In the back of the field, sometimes these guys practice by themselves or with a buddy or two. When you get in a traffic of 5-6 cars and you go to enter these turns, you have to understand that the 5 people in front of you are checking up slower than what you're used to, because they're trying not to hit each other, and as one person checks up, the next one behind, the next behind, and it really bottlenecks the field up, and then you get these runs like that. And then you get an incident like that where these guys are diving in lower than they should be and getting these almost a suicide run into the entrance of the turn, and they have to jam on the brake and either A, wheel hop and go over and hit the car, or B, it does stick. I say B, stick, because that's usually what never happens. It's 99 times out of 100, you're going to wheel hop into these guys and cause wrecks like that, or just run right into the rear of them. And it's a sign that some guys for short track racing may want to get into rooms with 20, 25 people and purposely go to the back like that and try to make a comeback through the field on purpose to see if they can hit the brake and learn the different apexes, because Ryan Borges, prime example, up front, he can drive wherever he wants. He can go high, low, middle. He can drive short tracks alone, but now he's out front. He has no worryment of who's checking in front of him. Where Jeff Smith, he may have to check up a hair just so he doesn't run over him.
It is all about the situational awareness, knowing where everybody else is around you. And Carl, you've talked about it a lot as well. A lot of these incidents, we've seen George Bark get turned a couple of times. Bark has a little bit of an earlier braking point than some of these other guys, so you can get a better run off. But because some people, these guys, a lot of these guys, the core group of core guys here, they race with each other a lot. But you have a couple of people come in here, not the most familiar faces. You don't know where everybody else's braking points is. And as you talked about, Carl, that's something that we've seen allude to a lot of incidents as well.
Yeah, you get in there and you don't know where everybody is. You're not used to running with these guys. I agree with what Jacob was saying there. Is you need to get into these practices with these guys, not just go out and run the qualifiers and race. You need to go out there and practice with these guys so you know what everybody's doing. Because, like you said, we have cars that are going in and getting different braking points. I like what George Barks is doing. He's trying to get a better braking or a earlier braking point, so that way he can get a better run off the turns. These other guys are just diving in way too deep. I'm wondering if some of them are even using the brake from what I've been watching here lately. But they're just braking way too late, and the wheel hop is exactly what's happening there. You're seeing them just push that front end right across the track and right into the quarter panel of the other car that's in front of them.
Well, the first battle is going to be for P2. Fresh off of a restart, the 20 of David Wink is on the bottom of Jeffrey Smith. Smith's going to drive it in high there, right up again, those first set of white hash marks there. Side by side off the corner, he's in the wall. That's going to give P2 to David Wink. He'll slide back to third, being that 25 car, and he leaves the door open. Wait wants to take advantage of it. Scott Bailey to the inside. Those guys' teammates going Gonna go at it side by side, 25, sideways off the corner. He'll hang on. Huge checkup behind him, though. Garrett Atwell to the high side, and Sedlak was side by side.
73 car going around. 73 car getting hit hard.
And he's
Jeremy
around
Crandall
in the middle of the track. Marcus Babb is gonna swing down pit road. And gonna have to wait for the replay to go up on this one. And 37. No, I mean the 73 was up high, so I think what he was trying to do was brake a little bit early and be able to get down in line and get behind that 27. Because if he stayed up high, Carl, I think the 51 machine or the 37 could have gotten to his inside. So I think Crandall tried to brake a little bit early to get behind the 27. And, well, if you're on the outside, you got to throw it in there hard. 37 was trying to throw it in hard because he was battling with the 51, was not expecting Crandall to slam the brakes a couple seconds early there. And 73 gets turned around. A huge lick from the 88 of Churchma as well. 26 of Babb going to get some damage also. And a return us to the caution flag condition.
I think that goes along the lines, too, Evan, what we were just discussing about the way to racing, awareness. And unfortunately for Mr. Berkey there, he did not be aware of the 73. And it almost looked like he was trying to just surrender to spot up high to get down low. And it was unfortunate timing for him with the 37 literally hitting him like a truck from behind.
And we this 125 lap affair. We're closing in on 25 to go. Let's step away for our final time under the green flag conditions here, or rather during the racing conditions. We'll come back for the final set of restarts here, and we'll be set to hand out that checkered flag. So we'll be right back on LSR TV. You're watching CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Race 4 from Richmond. Back at it here, going to be 24 laps to go on this next restart here under the lights with the super late models at the Richmond International Raceway. Evan Paselko, Carl Jones alongside with Jacob Nye up in a broadcast booth. You're watching on LSR TV. The pace car is off Borges, looking to go back-to-back tonight on LSR TV. He won our last night's super late model feature that we had on there, the All-American 400, and trying to make his first trip to victory lane with CORA. He got a great start as well. Did that 20 machine of David Wink, top two. Going to pull away third place to Scott Bailey. One car going backwards, the 25 car of Jeffrey Smith. That's a big checkup mid-pack.
Trying to find out exactly what happened there with Jeffrey Smith. That was don't look like he got a really good start from what I saw there, but he just it looks like he missed a shift. I bet I'm gonna have to guess that's what happened there, because it looked like, I don't know.
I mean, he was dropping back at a high side, didn't get hit by anybody. That could be, I mean, dropping back, and he's gone, to caution flag.
Yeah, back here, I'm looking in the entrance of turn 3.
It's Jeffrey Smith. Yeah.
Jeffrey Smith and his own teammate, Mitchell Reeves, both my teammates. Oh, this is going to be a rough team meeting tonight after the race when we're done with the broadcast here. It looks like Jeff Smith entered the turn from the high side down low, and Mitchell just did not expect him to come down as far as he did. And just, again, Jeff was having a rough restart there anyway, and Mitchell just finished him off and sent him into the wall there with the 2 Exalta FLR paint schemes getting involved there.
Well, I went in car there with Jeffrey Smith and did the replay on that, and it did sound like he kind of missed a shift and shifted back down. Going into the turn, I don't know if maybe he didn't miss the shift, he just misshifted.
That's a possibility.
And hit the wrong gear because the car did nosedive hard going into the turn, and you can hear him shift down. And then as he was coming back up out of the turn, he was shifting back up through the gears again. So I'm wondering if he didn't shift down, which caused him to slow up like that. That was kind of an odd thing to see.
And then again, that contact is going to be between teammates. I think the 02 car of Reeves has got to be thinking there, Jacob, that, all right, my teammate's slow. He was probably expecting Jeffrey to just let him go by because he was slow, and Mitchell's trying to get up there, battle back up with the 51 and all those guys for a top 10 spot, and maybe figured that his teammate would, come a little bit more of a break than that, or the 25, came down not knowing that 02 machine was right there. But you hate to see when teammates get together, and both Mitchell is going to have to come down pit road as well for repairs under this caution flag here. Now inside of 20 laps to go.
What this is going to do is, like I said, it's going to bring us back to having 20 cars now on the lead lap. Ryan Beagle just now got his lap back. He's going to get around there, and he's going to catch up with the back of the field. But we are now back up to 20 cars on the lead lap as we do a quick rundown through the top 10 here. We got Ryan Borges leading, David Wink number 2. We got Scott Bailey sitting in the 3rd position, Nathan Sedlak, he'll be in 4th, Garrett Atwell is in 5th. We have Martin Porter sitting in 6th, Dustin Lee in 7th. George Bark, after all of his problems, he's still sitting here in the 8th position. Nicholas Doucette sitting here in 9th, and Mark McFadden in 10th position.
And now we get down to it here, Jacob. We've seen Borges be so strong. Does the, typically I'd ask, does the bumper become an option? But, you're going to get a black flag for it. So how do you try to pass somebody that you're not quite as fast as? Is there any sort of way to go at it? Try to move him out of the way, maybe? Or, what do you got to be thinking if you're a David Wink or Scott Bailey here?
Honestly, if I'm David Wink right now, coming down, the Towers made it very clear to these drivers they want them to be clean and green for 2 laps. But after that, I say it's go at it. These cars are made to take a little bit of a beating. It is short track. You are supposed to race hard. Ryan Borges right now is racing for the points lead. If he wins tonight, and with Don Stevenson's rough night, he will inherit the points lead if he were to win this race tonight single-handedly. Nathan Sedlak is right there with them. Mitchell Reeves as well, and George Bark. They're the top 5 in the points. They're all fighting for that crucial points lead because we know the top 12 don't have to worry about qualifying for CORA races on Wednesday and Saturday night. And at this point, if I'm David Wink and I get a run with 10 to go, I'm not going to be afraid to stick that nose down low and send them a message that I want this win just as much as you are, even if we are associated teams between Storm and Vortex Motorsports.
And it's going to be coming up on about, I want to say, 17 lap to go restart, somewhere in that range, when we get the green flag. Front row, Borges and Wink. Carl ran us through our top 10. We have 20 total on the lead lap. Are we done wrecking them? Who survives? Can the 32 wrap up this race? Pace car is down on pit road. Borges going to be in control of the field. Keep an eye on the 08 of Scott Bailey. Green flag in the air and going to be single file for second. No challenge on David Wink. He'll be able to hang on to that. The 08 machine actually going to drop back as it's going to be Nathan Sedlak who will get P3 down to 1. We got a big checkup mid-pack and 2 wide throughout the pack from 5th on back about.
Looking back here at the Garrett Atwell machine, a lot of damage to the left front quarter panel of that machine there, but he's going to make it work, it looks like, as George Bark touches the wall. Somebody's down at the ground.
Oh, big trouble. 39 cars around in the middle of the pack. Huge wreck as caution flag will fly once again. Multiple cars going to be in this one. Sal Accardi, the 24 of Everett Lane, in it as well. And we got word that it was George Bart that had kissed the outside wall. He was slow on the front straightaway, and the 39 machine with the kamikaze 4 wide Accardi just ran him over, and a huge wreck in 1 and 2.
I'll be interested to see what they rule here as a penalty for that wreck, because George Bart did hit the wall to start the bottleneck, but like you said, Sal Accardi just made a kamikaze run. Wow, words can't explain it.
Well, I was just getting ready to say the 37 there of Gordon Berkey down into the grass. Now we know why he was down in the grass, because he didn't want to get into the middle of that, I don't think. Because he dove it down into the grass, but he still ended up at the very end of that, getting into the 79 car, getting a little bit more damage there on the nose of the 37 machine than what he had before. But now we know why Gordon Berkey decided he was going to see if he could mow some grass.
Well, I'm not sure if the 39 had some history, but I'm taking a look at my telemetry, which we have immediate access to, guys, and I mean, Sal Accardi was still on the throttle by the time he hit the quarter panel with that 27. He was doing about 148, and I mean, I didn't hear any brakes, but nonetheless, the kamikaze move just absolutely bowled over George Bark, and I mean, if I was George Bark, I'd be, maybe the throttle stuck or lost the brake fluid pressure or something, but I mean, Accardi just ran him over, and guys, if I was George Bark, I'm surprised that he's still on track, because I'd probably be throwing my monitors around. What? That's 4 times he's gotten run over?
Yeah,
At least.
I think he has tire marks now going over top of his helmet. Wow. But anyway, yeah.
Laura Lawson in the production hall are whispering in our ears. Laura, it's not late enough to be talking about that kind of stuff on air. All right. So it's going to be 10 laps to go or so when we get back green flag racing. Again, half that out the way this second half of the race has been going. That if a caution flag flies in the range of 4 laps to go, this race will end under a caution flag condition. So does anybody have a shot for Borges, guys, or do you think it's going to be the 32 who is able to walk away and get this one?
If anybody has a shot for Borges right now, I think it's going to be David Wink. David has been very, very strong here this last half of this race. So, yeah, if anybody's got a chance for him, it's going to be him or Nathan Sedlak. Nathan Sedlak also sitting out there very, very strong. He does have a little bit of damage there on the front of his car, but still running very, very quickly. David Wink, however, he has a pristine car. And we seen it last night. The winner of the race last night, Ryan Borges, he walked in. He pulled into victory lane there. He had his door caved in, but he still won the race. So can't say that you have to have a clean car to win these things, but it does help.
And Sal Accardi's going to get the EOL, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going with George Bark to win. He's hit everything else. He wants to get up front and hit the pace car, too. I'm seeing Days of Thunder with him. He's just having one of those nights. That'd be just a quintessential finish to that night for him. Get up front and, that's stretching it. But, hey, crazier things have happened. It is Richmond at night.
I'm guessing right now that Sal Accardi is seething. One more time, Sal Accardi all the way back to the back of the pack with an EOL penalty after starting that one. But like I said before, he didn't get off the throttle. The throttle hung, so that was pretty much on Sal Accardi. But one more time, back to the back of the pack.
And it is going to be right at 10 laps to go. Pace car is down. Will this be the final restart? Borges is on the gas. Great start from the number 20 car up on the outside of David Wink. Only issue is preferred lane is the bottom. He will slide down in line behind Borges. Will he get a good run off of 2? Borges just can get back to the gas so quickly. 2 car lengths separate the top 2 down the back of car length between David Wink and Nathan Sedlak for the top 3 positions. And single file back to 6. Where's the 08 car going backwards? That's Scott Bailey.
That's what I was just going to get ready to say here. Watching this Hornet's Nest back here with the 08 car, he has a lot of right fender damage there. He is not getting any kind of speed off that on the straightaways here. People are just passing him left and right. We got another car around. Looks like the number 50 car. Dustin Lee is going to get it around.
caution flag is out, and a heavy smoke is pouring from the back of that number 50 machine of Dustin Lee down the back. And for the first time tonight, it's not a parking lot. He got sideways, and the 51 machine behind him had no time to correct there or no time to get around him. That is Nicholas Doucette. And the 50 car kind of gets that punt from the 51. No intention on Doucette's part, but it does put us back under the caution flag condition. And I mean, take a look. It's a tale of two stories in the top five. You got our top two runners right now who started top five. Current race leader Ryan Porges started fifth. David Wink started second. Then you got Nathan Sedlak, Garrett Atwell, and Nicholas Doucette. Those guys started 13th, 15th, 29th, respectively. So some of these guys are having pretty good pickups from when they started, and then some of the guys that qualified well have had a rough go, to say the least.
Looks like our first official retiree of the race here is going to be Dustin Loynes. Dustin Loynes is going to pull behind the wall and leave. He's actually 27 laps down. He's been out there running 27 laps down, but he, I think, decided he's done because he just pulled it behind the wall and blinked out.
And we have 19 of the 32 cars are still on the lead lap, but it is true. Loynes is the first car to actually officially take it behind the wall and exit tonight's race.
Yeah, because we still have Jason Halverson. He's still sitting out there. He's 62 laps down, but he's still sitting out there in the 32nd position, still in his car, sitting on pit road here, getting some more repairs done.
He's taking in the view, we'll say. He's watching the race.
Taking in the view, yes. Probably safer in there.
Hey, Evan, I don't want to jinx, per se, anything, but you're, yes, I heard that. You're Brad Keselowski of the CORA era is sitting in outside row 2 on the final restart. Does it ring a bell?
Let's see if Garrett Atwell will try to shoot a gap, and we'll see what happens as he sits, as you said, in P4. Don't count Sedlak out of this either. His Storm Motorsports Chevrolet entry is going to be in P3. And then Nicholas Doucette, guys, and Scott Bailey going to be paired up on the third row. Those are the two youngest drivers in CORA.
Yes, I just actually went down to double check our books here for Fastlane. Scott turned 14 3 months ago. I don't know about you, Evan, but when I was 14, I was playing Xbox or PS3, or actually that was Nintendo 64 and GameCube. I'll show my age a little bit.
Well, I'm only 17, but 14, yep, Xbox. You know, the
for
good
me it was
old
GameCube and Nintendo 64.
I have a Nintendo 64. I played it once.
For me, they didn't have video
a little
games
bit behind my
yet.
era.
Didn't they have Ong back when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, there was no video games.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask Laura because I won't even go there with her.
Oh, she is yelling in our ear, and again, we need to have one of these times where the whisper, and again, we can whisper to each other to try to, pass notes around and stuff and anything that's going on. We need to have one of these broadcasts where the whisper is unplugged and they can just hear everything going on behind the scenes. That would be an adventure, to say the least. Laura objects to that. We'll find out. All right, so it's going to be 3 to go, guys.
Pay a few fines.
Yeah, I don't know if, again, I don't know if we're on late enough. I don't know if we're on late enough for that to
Hey,
be
guys,
allowed.
I'm ready to go back to green here.
Oh yeah, there's a race going on. 3 to go. This time by. Do we make it to the white flag? If we get to the white flag and they cause a 35-car pileup, we stay green. There is no cautions on the white flag. If we get a caution before then, this race will end under yellow flag conditions. Borges once again going to be in control on the inside of that front row. The pace car is down to the safety of pit road. Here we go. Ryan Borges for the final time tonight. Green flag in the air. Back at it. 35 car going to put up a challenge for second. Sedlak to the bottom of the number 20 of David Wink. Side by side for P2.
Great start by Ryan Borges that time. He was able to clear the number 20 quickly. Pulled up about a half-second lead quickly on that one there. That's exactly what he needed to do. He needs to get out there and just run the line that he needs to run.
The 19, what a move. Aggressive move by Garrett Atwell. Nearly gotten into the quarter panel of the 20 car. Fighting back to the outside. He's going to hook up contact with David Wink. And big mess. 19 is out in the grass. We stay green. Now we're wrecking over. We're still wrecking.
Oh my God, we have a big one here going into turn 4.
2 separate incidents on the front, then back down on quarter number 1 and 2. The 17 was making the aggressive moves to the inside, and It did not work out in the end, and caution will fly. This race will end under caution flag conditions. The 19 is what I was thinking of. Garrett Atwell went to the inside, and it was a good battle from the 20 car come back up. Garrett just slid it up, a little bit of net code there, and sent that 19 machine sliding through the grass. And the 20 car came down, wrecked a whole bunch of more cars. The 19 slid up out of the grass, wrecked a couple more cars, and carnage at
Guess
the
who
end
was
of
involved
this
in
one.
that again?
Was George Bark in that wreck?
George Bark was involved one more time, but guess what? He's still going to finish in 7th position.
Well, at quarter number 4, checkered flag in the air, race number 4 to the 32 of Ryan Borges. He loves these super late models. Second checkered flag in a row tonight here on LSR TV for him. And the race is done, and all of those cautions were indicative of a wild race. And again, the top 3 finishers in tonight's race, so Ryan Borges, Nathan Sinlick, and Martin Porter, are all going to be receiving $50 additional added to their purse on top of what they normally would get for a payout here with CORA, being donated by Mark McFadden in honor of Remembrance Day for Canada, Veterans Day as well for the U.S. That donation being made in honor of the Canadian Armed Forces members that lost their lives 1 month ago, being Corporal Nathan Cirillo and Warrant Officer Patrice Vincent. Myself being Canadian, I'm wearing one of my poppies right now, so if you're Canadian, you'll get that. A lot of Canadian races as well in CORA, so good to see McFadden doing that for these guys tonight.
Well, at least I know you're wearing something.
What do you wear? Or should we not?
Rather not
all right,
say.
we're going to get off this topic. We're going to go to commercial.
It's not late. It's not late enough.
It's not late enough.
Not late enough yet.
We've got to get a late night show going on. We'll talk to Laura about that later. We're getting these guys set up for an interview. We're going to step away for a commercial break. Things are getting pretty wild up here. It was wild on track. Checkered flag tonight for Ryan Borges. Post-race show coming up. You're watching LSR TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back live at the Richmond International Raceway with the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series. Race 4 has come to a close after a beaten and banging wreck-filled wild one under the lights at the short track tonight. It is going to be Ryan Borges taking it to victory lane, but first we're caught up. Martin Porter down there, he's our third place finisher, and Jacob, you've caught up with him.
Yeah, I did. I caught up with not Harry Potter. Martin Porter. Martin, getting that Dale Earnhardt Jr. replica Budweiser Chevy up there. Tell us about your race tonight.
It was a long one. It was a long race. Frustrating most of the race for myself, starting on the outside most of the time. That last restart, I started on the inside, and that what really helped me. Then the 19 and 20, they got involved in the wreck. I don't know what happened. I couldn't even avoid it. I got on the brakes, gave 19 a tap, and the way he went. The Rue Motorsports guys, Garrett and I, we were up front all race long. We qualified pretty decent. We had Nicholas down there. He was helping us out. It was a good race, but it was definitely long.
Yeah, I mean, hey, some races are short, some races are long, and tonight seemed almost not like a demo derby, but it just seemed like a lot of guys had not much patience. What was your key tonight to keep that 8 clean? Because if I remember, I only saw you in one incident the whole night. Otherwise, you were fairly clean the whole night. What made you do that?
I was just being patient most of the race, just giving room, giving people, when they had the run on the inside, because like I said, I was starting on the outside most of the time. Give the guys that were on the inside, give them room. On each restart, I would drop back 2 positions. I would just fall in line, ride around, pick up spots after that. My car was really good, when we got like a 5-lap green run or anything longer than that. I was picking up more positions, but restarts was not one of my strong points. I mean, I felt bad for the CORA officials. They put on a great series and everything, but Kevin is going to need a couple of Advils after this.
Hey, maybe we'll have to have an Advil 400 here, Cora. Budweiser on the hood. Who else helps you perform every week here in Cora Sunday Money?
Standout Wraps. They're one of the main sponsors of Rue Motorsports. They help Scott Saunders out in the truck series that he's going to be running next year, so got to help them. They're my main sponsors, but I didn't have their colors on the car this week, wasn't able to get a car. My boss was over in Las Vegas for the SEMA show.
Well, again, congratulations on your place here tonight, Martin. We're going to send it back up here to Carl Jones, I believe. I believe he now has Nathan Sedlak down in pit road here to talk to.
Yeah, I've caught up with Nathan Sedlak here after this race. What a heck of a race, Nathan, there. Looks like you've been through a short track race with that car.
Yeah, pretty rough night. Really hate that I pitted about 50 laps into the race. We figured we might need one pit stop, but I really wish I didn't because it was a pain getting back up through there, but it worked out in the end, I guess.
So, Nathan, you ran there second there towards the end with all those cautions. If it was able to stay green, do you think you had anything for Ryan at the end of the race?
I don't know if I had anything for Ryan. I think he was a little bit quicker to me throughout the race. He was behind me a bunch, and he could stay right with me. So I think if we got a longer green flag run there, maybe. He might have pulled away from me a little bit, but I don't know. It was was really getting the hang of it there at the end. I know we were only going for a couple laps, but put a lot of laps in this week and stuff here at this track trying to get ready. But unfortunately, there's a lot of cautions and things like that. So it would have been interesting for sure.
Speaking of the cautions there, that had to have been getting frustrating there. What was going through your mind there every time you'd get under green? Did you think you were going to get a long green flag run?
It was really tough to see that, or there were so many guys with different braking points, and guys weren't looking at the cars in front of them and things like that, and it was just there were so many guys off, and it was just a weird night altogether, and it was definitely scary every restart because you were worried about the guy behind you, but you were also worried about running over the guy in front of you. So you had to really watch what you were doing, and I think that was the main struggle is guys got different braking points. They're driving the car a different way, and there's different lines, there's different ways to get in the corner with this car, and so it was really tough. And I don't know, there's a lot of us out there, so I think guys did the best they could, but we needed a little bit more laps together, I think.
Well, Nathan, you did come in second, right behind Ryan Borges there. You had a great race today. Who do you want to thank for tonight?
Definitely thank Storm Motorsports. Now again, North American Gaming Network. They do a lot for us. David Wink, Eric Sharp really done a lot for Storm Motorsports this year. Got some good people on board. Guys are working hard, sharing information, talking to each other, teaching each other. Good friendships, good everything else. So it's real fun. Enjoying ourselves this year, getting some good finishes for sure early on, which will help us later on down the road.
That's Nathan Zedilak, last year's champion, coming back here looking strong again this year, finishing second position here at Richmond. Back up here to Evan Pasoko, I think he's caught up with a winner.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a word down here now in Victory Lane with tonight's winner, Ryan Borges. Going to go back-to-back tonight on LSR TV. He won the All-American 400 last night. Ryan, same cars. You said you were looking forward to tonight. You got the job done, and you got a checkered flag. How'd you survive that race?
I really think just staying towards the front was the biggest thing. It seemed like a lot of the incidents were mid-pack, where all the, I guess everyone was checking up a bunch and stuff was happening, but really not. I decided I was only going to pit once that race, and we really didn't even need to pit based on fuel, but we pitted once, our Storm Motorsports guys and Vortex Motorsports, and worked out well for the majority of us. We were able to get through the field fast and just stay out of trouble up front, and that was the key, I guess.
This race being the fixed setup race, one of the fixed setup races here, that they alternate with CORA. Where did you find that you were being able to make up most of your speed compared to some of the other guys?
Honestly, I feel like exit was way more important. Well, you know what? No, all the corners were the most important part, which it is with every track, but really just getting a good line down on entry, not pushing it into the corner too hard, that would give you a good launch off.
We've been talking to you in the weeks past here, Ryan. You've been able to knock off solid finishes, and then finally all coming to fruition tonight, the checkered flag. What does it mean for you? And obviously your teammates have had also a great start to the season to have this success early on.
Oh, it's great. I love being on Storm Vortex Motorsports. We got a great group of guys behind us, and I'm really looking forward to running the rest of the season. I mean, we're 4 races in, and I've had 4 solid races, and I'm really excited about it.
It is going to be your third top 5 and fourth top 10 in 4 starts. Rolling up 1 week's time, the same super late model is going to be rolling over to the Iowa Speedway. Similar style track, I guess you could call it. Your thoughts rolling into that one?
I think it'll definitely be a solid race for me. I love short tracks, and the super late model is no exception. This car is awesome to drive, and I feel like I can definitely contend in it.
All right, well, before we let you go back down and finish celebrating sponsors and shout-outs, who made it happen for you and the team here tonight?
First and foremost, I got to thank Storm Motorsports, Vortex Motorsports for the letting me on board this year. I think that was an awesome assistance to me in my quest for winning some races in CORA. This is my first win, and hopefully there'll be more to come. And I also got to thank JD Marketing, Brandon Wilkinson, Travis Brown for coming in and spotting for me tonight. I got to thank X-Scout Racing, Bullring Racing for sponsoring me tonight too. They were on the sides of the car in the back. And I just got to thank you guys at LSR for putting the races on YouTube. It's awesome to go back and watch them.
Well, Ryan, to say the least, I think you figured out how to wield these super late models. So once again, congratulations on the victory tonight. Good luck rolling forward in the season, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye to see where that number 32 is in 1 week's time.
All right, thank you.
So that is tonight's winner, guys, and a quick full field rundown from tonight's race number 4. Ryan Borges in first, Sedlak, Porter, Doucette, and Wink would be the top 5. Everett Lane in 6th, George Bark 7th, Scott Bailey 8th, 9th to Mitchell Reeves, Chad Wilson would get 10th, Joel Wood 11th, Gordon Berkey 12th, Jeremy Crandall 13th, Mark McFadden 14th, Patrick Skyhill with a 15th place result. 16th would go to Ryan Peagle, 17th position to Michael Cherdsma, and rounding out the lead lap cars in 18th was Don Stevenson. You also have 19th to James Wilkins, 20th to Tim Johnstone, 21st Dustin Lee, 22nd Garrett Atwell, 23rd Dominic Dyball, 24th tough break for Sal Accardi as he slides back and not the result that he was looking for tonight. 25th would go to Jonathan McMinn, 26th to Jeffrey Smith, 27th to Dale Adkins, 28th position Marcus Babb, 29th John Pansula, 30th position to Charles Starks, and then 31st and 32nd Dustin Loynes and Jason Halverson. And Halverson, Carl, still on pit road in his car watching the post-race activity. So before we step away for tonight, your guys' closing thoughts on tonight's action.
It was a wild one, that's for sure. I was kind of expecting we were going to see a lot of exactly what we saw tonight. Was going to be a lot of cautions, just for the fact this was their first race on a short track this season. First race in this super late model car. A lot of people don't quite have the handle on these cars yet, but I think it's going to get better as the season goes on. I think, like you said, next week we're going to be going into pretty much the same kind of track, but it's a little bit wider. I think the drivers like it a little bit more. You're not going to be seeing so much. I don't know what you want to call it. It's what it was, but I kind of expected we were going to see the kind of race like we had tonight. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. Congratulations to our winner, and look forward to seeing him here again next week.
I, for one, am excited for next week. You're going to see the 16 Zimmerman's Super Late get out there on the track and actually door bang with these guys. Iowa is going to be fun. It's going to be a little wider. We're going to be able to go we're going to be 2 or 3 wide here at Iowa next week, and hopefully not have the problems that we did tonight with the cautions. I believe almost half the race was under caution, and that's just not something we want to look forward to. And Iowa's a fun track. It's one of my most favorite tracks, actually. And when we're done here tonight, I'm going down to fast lane, going down to the shop, and we're going to go out and dial in a set for our cars for next week. And, like I said, hopefully you see some of the fast lane guys up front next week rocking the charts and maybe get some of these Storm guys off the top.
Storm Motorsports has been strong in the opening portions of this race, and as you guys said, a wild one where nearly half this race was under caution. We saw 2, 3 wide, guys throwing it in, guys running each other over, everything you could have anticipated from a short track Sunday night under the lights from Richmond. As you guys talked about, also going to be an open set in what a week's time. The Super Late Model is going to be back at action at the Iowa Speedway. That also going to be here with CORA and LSR TV. So on behalf of everybody here at CORA, everybody at LSR TV as well, Laura Lawson in the production hauler, and Jacob Nye, Carl Jones up at the broadcast booth alongside myself, Evan Pasoko. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you 1 week's time, same place. Going to be